Hey everyone, and welcome to Darkson Gaming. My name is Chris, and in today's video, this is going to be something completely different. I am actually just going to be doing some linking grinds, while I want to talk about a apparently hot topic. So, one thing that a lot of people have been talking about lately is kind of the state of Dokkan and where things are at right now. Obviously, there were some concerns in regards to the celebration that had just occurred with the worldwide celebration, the lack of content, how some things are going on, how they feel like Dokkan is dead. Completely get that and understand all that right now. I think this is something that happens frequently, and I shouldn't say frequently, but happens on a yearly basis. It seems like every single year there is that down time where there is just not a whole lot to do. But yes, the download celebration, I think, or the worldwide celebration was not as great as it was in years past. And also, I think it can definitely be argued to the fact that it was the worst celebration that has ever occurred on Dokkan. But I think there's a lot of things that go into that I don't want to chastise Bandai for. That is going on with this. So my first thought is remember just a few months ago, right before the 5-year anniversary, I think this was something that was huge for us on the standpoint of we had so much things going on. It seemed like we were going to actually catch up to JP, really all the way through to Kefla. From about March until that Kefla time frame when she came out, just because of the fact that there was just constant new contact. We were getting everything to go through, and we got what seemed like Nappa and Vegeta to pop up very, very quickly. But at the same time, we really thought that we were going to end up catching up to JP, which is still a possibility by the end of the year, but we're going to need a lot of content to kind of come at us quickly. I really do think that once Halloween comes around, we're going to have that Halloween celebration that they typically do every year, which is going to be, probably a couple free-to-play units, some really fun things to kind of go around and do, just something short burst, whatnot. And then it comes down to what is going to be the next units that are going to come around. And those next units could really end up being, it would probably be the Goten the Gotenks and the exchange unit Boo. Or it could actually be the new Frieza that just came out on JP. Those are really the only two units that it could be. I really think it's going to be Gotenks and the new Boo. But then after that, you're talking about, again, really we're only, 3 Dokkan Fests away from catching up to JP. So I really do think they're going to be coming out with a lot of information and a lot of different things in the coming weeks. Now, the other hot topic I wanted to talk about that I've been hearing a lot of people discuss is the I guess we don't, it's non-confirmed, but whether or not we should have player versus player or PvP and how this will kill Dokkan. I'm going to take the hot take on this, and I am actually going to say that player versus player could help Dokkan a lot. And I know I'm probably going to get flooded with comments, or people are going to be thinking that you're crazy, you're the one person out on the island that thinks that a player versus player would be a good thing, but hear me out on it. So when it really kind of comes down to player versus player, if you look at Legends, player versus player has been around since day one, and that's something that is obviously, the game was built around that. So with a game built around that, it can be very difficult to try and get some of that, to understand, I guess, that it can be very difficult that it can end up killing a game. In the content of Dokkan, I think if they leave it like an event, kind of like how World Tournament is, I think that could be a good thing. It would be something to look forward to every month or through every celebration if they were to have some type of an event that we can go against each other and do that. So again, something that I think could end up, again, just more content. It's additional content. They don't necessarily have to be turned around and be giving tons of stones away for it. I mean, it could be another way that we could turn around and get maybe some exclusive characters, some more items. You can maybe turn around and end up getting some more equipment, which I think everybody can agree we could love more ways to be able to get equipment. That's part of the reason why so many people like having the Explosive Chain Battle, even though Explosive Chain Battle is not really popular right now. But when it comes down to player versus player, it's not going to change the way that I play the game. I play the game solo right now. Yes, we communicate through YouTube or through Reddit, Twitter, some of the different things of that nature. It's not going to change any of that. That is still going to be a part of it, and you can still solo this game just the way that it is. Now, yeah, you might turn around on maybe it's actually going to be maybe beneficial to free-to-play players because of the fact that you're going to turn around and think, oh, here comes this brand new unit. It may not be beneficial for anything other than player versus player, so I can skip that banner and not feel like, oh crap, I'm not going to have something that's going to be ready to go. The other thing is I think a lot of times people think player versus player is going to be trying to pop bubbles at the same time and trying to go against each other that way. I don't think that's the way Dokkan is built. But what I could really see them doing, which I think would be kind of really cool, would be player versus player in races. I mean, we watch them all the time when we see people doing collab videos and things of that nature. And hey, you know, we all really like to see Nanogenics go up against Rhyme Style, or we get to see Tiger and Toonrami. I love watching Masked Ningen going through on the Super Battle Road, trying to do a no item run on that, or turning around and watching Hazink go through and try to get a minimal turns in order for him to win an event. So there's things that we're doing to kind of create that they could turn around and make that the player versus player aspect. Maybe they turn around and say, okay, well, whoever gets the, again, kind of think about explosive chain battle. That's kind of a player versus player mentality on that. We're competing to be in the top 1% for rewards. Same thing with World Tournament. That's kind of the player versus player mentality that they go through. So if we did races, maybe it's who gets the fastest time within a certain time frame, or maybe it's going to turn around and say something like, hey, who can beat this level with the lowest cost characters? Maybe they'll turn around and put a cost run that you can't run with, try to beat the legendary Goku event in with less than 200 team cost. Something like that. That would be, just a completely different way of thinking about player versus player that would make a huge difference, because it's content, it's things you can try to go through and do, it's things that we create on our own any which way, that they would essentially turn around and say, hey, here we go, we're going to make this a lot easier. Now, yes, just like watching content creators, you're going to turn around and say to yourself, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go watch two YouTubers do a race together. Well, yeah, whoever has the more rainbowed units is going to do better. So how do they make that maybe more fair to everyone else? They just say, hey, look, you bring your units and it's 55%. Whoever can beat the level the fastest, or you're racing to see who can get the furthest on a level at 55%, something that's very easy for them to do. So, or maybe they'll turn around and say, hey, you can only use, just like an EZA area, you can only use characters that were found through special events. So I guess I just don't want people looking at player versus player thinking that it's something that could be really bad for the game, instead of how beneficial it really could be for the game. And in different ways that, hey, wow, we can have official content, official ways to be going through and doing things, challenging each other around, and really just kind of having a lot of fun with the game. So when it really comes down to, also, the last thing I wanted to talk about was explosive chain battle. Yes, explosive chain battle is tedious. Explosive chain, I shouldn't really say tedious, it's frustrating, because I have literally ran the exact same teams that other YouTubers have thrown up, and they have turned around and not had, or they have gotten 140 million, and I'm turning around consistently punching that 123, 125. Yes, I had a video that I was lucky enough to get a top 1%. I had 140 or 141 million on the run, but I have not been able to reproduce it. I have actually done that exact same run again. I got the exact same characters using the exact same person that helped me out, and I can't reproduce that 141 million. How is that possible? What are we missing on that? And that's what's frustrating with that level. Now, with that being said, as long as you get in top 5%, you have a pretty good opportunity of getting some nice rewards. And you're going to be able to turn around and say, hey, we're going to get some nice things with equipment or skill orbs or anything else like that, and be able to get those things. I think that is possible free to play to be able to get 100 million. I've seen people going through and using the LR Zamasu and then trying to either get LR Zamasu teams or taking some of the other supporting units and being able to pull that number off. So you don't need to have Go Bros to get over 100 million. Obviously, it makes it much easier to be able to accomplish that. But it is possible to be able to do it other ways. So, again, just kind of wrap up the video. I just really understand where everybody's talking about, that they're afraid that the game could be affected because they're turning around and trying to do player versus player and not have anything that is going to kill the game or anything like that. But really, at the end, they make a lot of money on this game, and they're not going to do anything that's going to risk that and affect the original content, which is kind of what we're doing now. I'm going through leveling up skill orbs, or they're not going to turn around and say, hey, we're not going to have other things. When it comes down to the worldwide celebration, I will be one to sit there and say that I think COVID probably played a little bit of a role into that, because I just truly believe that there was going to be an event that was focused around the Olympics. The Olympics were going to be in Japan this year. They said that they were going to have some different things in the opening ceremonies revolving around Dragon Ball. So you can't tell me there wasn't going to be something. Now, does that justify what happened at the worldwide celebration? No, it does not. That was horrible. They should have done better, and hopefully that with our feedback, they will do better in the future. So, but otherwise, I guess I'm trying to think of things in a little bit more of a positive light, hoping that things will get better. And I'm sure that here, really, once we get past October, I think we're going to get flooded again with a whole bunch of content. And then, even on the JP side, here they are turning around and announcing Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Part 2 of the Frieza celebration that's going on, and to where they're getting the potential for multiple EZA areas. One thing people have got to remember for us is that we still have a number of EZAs that are going to be coming through on the global side still. So I just think that there's a lot of opportunity. Yes, it's slow. There's some different things going on. Something had to have happened to affect that. And hopefully they'll take our advice and move forward with the game. And if that includes player versus player, I'm okay with it. I think it's going to be beneficial. I think it's something that's going to really help us out. So that's it. That's today's video. Kind of, again, no, it's something a little bit different. Me just straight up talking to you guys about what I think the world of Dokkan is and how it's set up, and how I just don't think that player versus player is going to kill this game. I think it's going to only help this game, and I understand that's a hot topic, and I'm ready and willing to accept the comments and the different things that are going to come through on this. But yeah, I don't look at it as being the end-all be-all of anything else. So that's it. That's today's video. I hope you guys liked my take on it. I hope you guys thought that I had an interesting take on this. But otherwise, that's it. If you haven't done so already, please make sure that you guys leave comments down below and just let me know what you guys think, because again, I'm expecting to kind of get blasted for my stance on this. But that's it. That's today's video. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll talk to you guys later.